If we're not tilting in the right positions on the way back, we're going to struggle with contact. Just because you got to think of it as your axis to the ball, right? If I get here, I'm going to be able to deliver the club. But if I'm way up here, now I've got to get back down, which you do a good job of getting back down. You compensate exceptionally well on your downswing, and it's honestly the harder part of the swing to teach. The getting back to the right position is the easier thing to teach in the golf swing versus trying to get someone to tilt in the downswing. Tilting in the downswing is not a natural move; it's trained and learned, and not easily so. So you've got that. Like I said before we started, you've got some good moves in your swing. There's just some ones that are unique due to your grip kind of forcing them. And when we get to the top of the swing, really not a terrible position. You end up getting back to a pretty good tilt, 31, but we got to be at 37 at this point. So just the kind of interesting way we get the club back, it makes it really difficult for you to get to a good tilt, though you do okay. But you can see at the top of our swing, we're very much kind of pointed out here, whereas he's really getting down to that ball. And it's just a big contributor to contact. And the reason I've got those turns up there, you're seeing lots of blue, it's because you do a good job turning. Your turns are good. I'd like to see this leg straighten up more because it's going to help with what we're really going to talk about on the other view, which is your hip sways and why we struggle with contact. The reason you get into these where it's like I either hit the ball great or I hit the ball bad is because of the two metrics that really contribute directly to solidness of contact, which is your low point, where you hit the ground, being in front of the ball. When your hip sways are off, you're going to struggle with those. We'll show you here visually in here in a minute what that looks like, because you'll be able to see it. And then your shoulder tilt, your relation, your inclination to the ground. If you're not pointing in the right direction, it's going to be very difficult to deliver the club on a level plane through the ball. Those are the reasons you struggle.
Yeah, because I notice if I'm in the rough and I have the ball like on an inch of grass,
yeah, you're okay.
I can hit that so much better than
yeah.
on a fairway or on a mat.
Right, there's got to be some precision into delivering the club at a level plane with the ground. Also, making sure that the ball's contact comes right before impact with the ground.
Yeah.
Both those things are dictated by what we're struggling with. It's not like, whenever you square it up, it's not like it's terrible. You get a little right to left, and you get a little bit of inconsistency, and that's from your grip. But your struggles lie in hitting the ball solid. These are the two biggest contributors to that. And we'll kind of skip forward to the downswing here in a minute, or to the face on here in a minute, because it's going to be the one that you'll see another good visual. But we will talk about what Zach does here. So on the way down, he's going to drive his hips forward. This is where we talk about hip sway. He's going to keep his head back, which will let him get his shoulder moving down. He's going to get his shoulders tilting downward in the downswing, which is what will get the club to level out and come back inside our primary lines. Does that make sense? So watch, when that shoulder starts going down, so does the club. Which is how we get the club into position here. Now you're going to see it more from the other side, but this entire time he's driving his hips forward. He's really getting forward to the target, and that is moving his low point out in front of the ball. So now he's swinging from the inside to the out. So that's definitely a draw pattern. But he's also got his low point. You can see he hits ball, then grass, in front of the ball. That's how you hit the ball good. You swing a little into out, and you hit ball first. And you'll see how he creates all the power he creates using exactly what we're talking about. So again, now that we're getting over to you, what you do really well, you get that shoulder tilting down. I mean, more than you need, which is probably due to the grip. You start with a lot of shoulder tilt in your setup, you get back to a lot of shoulder tilt in your downswing. So by the time we get to here, we still need to be at 33 left, and you're already leveling your shoulders out. So you can see he's at that point in the swing, he's still very down with his left. You're leveled out. Now you get further down. At this point in the swing, you need to be 12 right. You're at 27 right. So see, he's pretty level. You're starting to tilt. And at the bottom of the swing, which is the most telling,